Come on, start. Let's go.
401. Silver and black, yeah, we never fold. New winning roots with a Raider soul. East Coast grind, West Coast pride. Raider nation, worldwide. 401, say it loud. 401, feel that sound from the stands to the screen. This is Raider Talk with 401 Raider Jeff. Win or lose, we ride it out. Raider Nation, hear us shout. Hit that bell, show respect. Silver and black. 401 Raider Jeff. 401. 401. 401.
All right, Raider Nation, if you're wondering why Pete Carroll's on the dock in Raiders gear fishing for a big old W, it's because once again, the Raiders were close and the wind just slipped right off the hook. You can almost hear him say it. You got to be quicker than that. But here's the thing. For once, this wasn't the usual Raiders comedy special. This wasn't a 3-hour stress test. This team actually showed up. The offense looked competent. Defense looked disciplined. And Ashton Jeanty, that man didn't fish for yards. He harpooned them. So, yeah, we lost 23-21, but this one felt different, and we're going to talk about it. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my co-host for this evening. I have the one, the only, Big Dog Jason Downs. And on the other end, we have his co-host on Tuesday nights. Make sure you check them out. Show Me Your Shield tomorrow night, going on at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The one, the only, Donuts Duncan. What's up, gentlemen? How are we doing today?
I'm alive.
Doing good. I'm barely alive. No sleep with the baby.
I remember those days as well, and don't miss them. So we almost pulled it off. That close. Take that pick 6 away from Gino. We win that game. So in Gino fashion, he cost us the game. I'll blame him for that one. Take that away, and we got that game on the road in Houston.
It's Gino's fault.
Yeah. I mean, we know who showed up big yesterday, and we've been waiting for this game from him. You know, yeah, he showed promise earlier in the season. He had a good game, but yesterday, dude, he blew it out of the water yesterday. You know, were you expecting that game from him, Jason?
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I was.
Well, I mean, seriously, going into yesterday's game with who we were playing against, I mean, did anybody see this coming?
No.
Our team showed up
after last week. Good night.
I was on earlier today with Leo and Raquel doing the Puro podcast this morning, and I said to Leo, I said, you at least got to see a good game. I said, I don't know what happened to the team from the time they walked off the field in Philly to when they showed up yesterday in Houston, but those were two totally different teams. I mean, the one in Philly was just dead from the moment they walked on the field. Yesterday, they were alive from the get-go. Yeah, we had that hiccup, you know, with the interception for the pick 6. And usually it's something like that just kills our mood for the game, and then we can never get out of it. The fact that we pulled back after that, I mean, that says a lot about the players on this team, right? Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They showed up. They made a game. I mean, they finally gave us what we've been asking for all season, which was a competitive game. And with how the season's turned out, they got that loss, so we're still in that contention for the first overall pick.
Yeah. It comes down to next week's toilet bowl game between us and the Giants.
Now, I will say, after our appearance yesterday, They got me nervous. We're going to pull off 2 wins.
Are you feeling that, Jason, too?
No. Well, Raider. The only one that next week's game is the only one that's got me nervous winning that game. And now obviously the Chiefs are second high tit, so that throws another wrench into that one. And then I'm starting to think the NFL schedule is like pre-programmed this shit to screw us. You know how the NFL does it? They don't want us to have the number 1 pick. They never have. So not only that, we screw it up when we do have the number 1 pick, so it don't matter anyways. But
yeah. Jason, you want to do the chat?
Yeah, let's roll with the chat, my friend. Jack, I am not going to say the rest of your name because
Starfest.
It's called a Jack Off Fest. What's up, Jack? You never caught that, huh? Hey, Donuts Duncan's in the house. Thanks for coming in, Donut. Let's see. Robert Pena, my guy. Welcome, Marcus Banks. Marcus Banks, congratulations. Thank you guys on the work you guys did yesterday on the Chiefs for us. Much appreciated, man. That was good stuff. And I myself am a believer in Cam Ward. I believe in Cam Ward. I think what you saw this year is just growing. And by this time next year, he's going to be in the upper echelon. As talented as he is and as hard as he works, yeah, don't second guess that kid. He's going to be good. Chico State 14. You guys fired up for the Niners game? No. Why would I be fired up for a Niners game? Good Lord. Money Chuck. Shout out to you, brother. Good takes as always. Welcome in. Big game now. He's showing his worth. Donuts, congrats on the child. It's a beautiful event, brother. Yes, it is.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, being a dad is an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Daniel Barris, welcome, man. Cheers to you, brother. Welcome in. Happy Monday to you as well. Let's see. We got 14 other people with their eyes on us. If you're there, man, subscribe, chat, get in here. I know there's people in that are watching that could bring us some topics and some content. Right? Let's debate. Let's discuss. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this moment as Raider fans.
I just dropped the link for both your channels on for YouTube. So
yeah,
in the
and
chat, get over to both channels. You got Jason First Downs or Jason Downs. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit the notifications, give them the thumbs up. They're both streaming on their channels. And then get over to Donuts Duncan, do the same thing, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the notification so you don't miss their show on Tuesday nights because it's going to be a good one.
Be a bro, share the show. We're going to grow this. We're going to grow this 401 Raider Jeff Productions. It's going to be wild in the next year. And he sits there and snickers.
Going back to what you were saying about blaming Geno Smith, what I've been saying for weeks is he's our tank commander. We need him.
Cool,
oh, yeah.
Well, he started off good yesterday. Like, yeah, he's gonna do Geno things.
That's fine. He can start off good. He's that tank commander. He's gonna lose us that game.
Yeah.
I got 10 more seconds of chat acknowledgement. Guerrero, thanks for coming in, man. My campaign manager, as always. Cool Kev. OG's in here. Love you, brother, man. Keep it coming. Let's see. Cool Kev, Guerrero. No, I think we're caught up on the chat, Skipper. Go ahead and take the ship. Ride it.
Alrighty. Well, with all that being said, so final score 23-21, Texans over the Raiders. Road game, hostile environment. I don't know. You would have thought it would have been a hostile environment based on Houston's defense being what it is or what it's been all season. I don't know what happened to them yesterday, but they definitely were not 100% there. Granted, they still had some good plays and they did some damage on their defense. My biggest thing was their offense. Our defense pretty much just kind of locked them down. Who, other than obviously Max, is the standout? Who did you guys see as a standout for the defense?
Go, Duncan.
Honestly, I think Porter had a standout game. I mean, yeah, he had some costly mistakes at the end of the game, but he was playing pretty dang well. No, you disagree?
No, I'm mad you stole it from me.
Oh, yeah. No, honestly, Porter played really well. I mean, he's a rookie. He's going to make those mistakes, but honestly, that penalty was uncatchable. It shouldn't have been thrown, but he still made it, that mistake. So it puts that flag in the ref's hands, and this year they've been happy to throw it. So,
and I believe he held Nico Collins under 50 yards with only 4 catches.
I'll tell you in a second. What did he get?
And on top
Nico,
of that,
five catches, 9 targets, 59 yards for Nico.
That was close. Anyways, that pass interference penalty, I will take that every day and twice on Sunday because the guy, it was just a simple technique. He didn't get his hips turned, and he put himself flat-footed at the peak of the route when he became congruent with him, and he went flat-footed and didn't get his hips turned, and that's why he ended up in front of him doing one of these things. But we can't rewrite the history. I'm going to go with my guy. And you guys may or may not laugh in the chat. I don't really care. Jeff, you may laugh. Duncan, you may laugh. I don't care. But I saw Malcolm Kuntz. I saw Malcolm Kuntz flashing on tape yesterday. He was giving him a dirty pocket. He didn't have a whole lot of reps, but he was creating a dirty pocket.
Yeah, I won't disagree on that one. I was waiting for you to say, when you said we're going to laugh, I was waiting for you to say, like, Tyree. I'm like, if you said Tyree, you were going to be removed from the screen. What did Kuntz do? Let's look at his stats. So he's
going to have some unfinished stats.
He only had 1 tackle.
Yeah, but he had to. There was a sack that was created by him. He didn't get credit.
Yeah.
What
do we do for sacks?
And Snowden as well. But I'm going to combo.
Had a sack.
Actually, I think
we had no sacks. I thought there was 1 I saw.
No, I think they called that a tackle for loss because it was a muff. I think it was a muff snap.
I could have sworn there was 1.
So from what I understand, the way that they got all kinds of different I's and ifs that built into it. If it's a muff snap and the quarterback has to jump on the ball, then you don't get a sack. But if the ball hits the quarterback in the hands, he drops the ball and then picks it up, then it can be counted as a sack.
I say someone's hat looks like a yarmulke. What the hell's that? Someone's hat. This one here. What the hell's a yarmulke?
A yarmulke?
I don't know if that's.
Does this look like a yarmulke?
I know it ain't mine. He's gotta be yours.
Just because it's gray.
It just blends in. That means you look ashen, which means
then my walls are gray in the back. And I have a black hat, but I don't know who gave that to me. I've never worn it. I went to just try it on just now, and it's like a kid size 6 hat. It ain't fitting my.
Can't argue with that. Texas Tech's got a mean defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not gonna get much argument from Raider fans this year on that one.
Nope. We're hoping we get a couple of those cats on their defense.
Oh, yeah.
They're mean.
So, I mean, again, this wasn't a moral victory, but it wasn't a disaster. That's the good thing. I mean, we looked competitive after the pick 6 until the end of the game. I mean, did you see anything that made you still wonder why we were doing certain things, like whether it be players out there that probably shouldn't have been out there, or even the play calling? I thought the play calling looked a lot better.
Even on the defensive side.
Yeah.
We kind of got away from that cover 3 a little bit, played a little bit more man-to-man outside.
It looked more like a true Patrick Graham defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're not handing out participation trophies, but I also didn't have the urge to break a TV watching this game. Like if I was home last Sunday and not actually at the game, I would have been livid on what I saw, you know. But this week, you know, there was a better rhythm, tempo. We had sustained drives. We're going to talk offense first here. You know, red zone. We were in the red zone one time, and we were 100%. We scored. You know. The other touchdowns, Jeanty had a long run plus the long reception. So, yeah, we scored, but we weren't in the red zone because obviously, look at the yardage he got. But did it seem to you like the play calling made more sense this game?
Go ahead, Dunk.
It seemed like they actually had plans in place. Like they actually game planned really well, and I mean, it just flowed better. I mean, it could be coaching, but overall, it looked like the players really showed up, and that probably influenced it a bit too. That they had energy.
Yeah, and that's something we definitely didn't. I mean, in person, I didn't see it last week. That's why this week, when they came out the way they came out and started, I was like, I'm sitting at the Buffalo Wild Wings with my chapter, and I'm like, man, where is this coming from? Where was this last week? You know, was it because it was too cold and they just didn't want to be there? But it was just, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. In other words, it blew my mind how different this team was. I mean, did you see anything, Jason, as far as like the play calling making sense, or you know?
Okay, so the play calling, especially on offense, it seems like there was a little bit of method to the madness of how they were calling the plays. I mean, we were 27 rushing attempts versus 23 passing attempts. That right there, that in and of itself tells me the early success of the run game, they stuck with it, and it just kind of kept becoming a foster of the rest of what they were going to do down the field. To add to the energy and everything, I kind of have, and this is just a gut feeling that I have. You take it for what it's worth, but I have a gut feeling there's a lot of guys on that team that come from the state of Texas that maybe they had some family, friends close by or whatever that were at the game. No, I mean, seriously, think about it.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean? So they maybe like the last thing you want to do is if your grandma lives in Houston and you go to Houston and you took grandma to the game, last thing you want to do is look like a fool out on and not try, right? Because she's going to be the first one to call you out on it.
It's kind of funny you mentioned Texas because I was going to say they got filled up on the Texas barbecue before the game.
Well, I think
they don't like Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, it might have been the fact that they were, you know, in warm weather versus freezing their nuts off the week before. So I mean,
that plays a part. There's all kinds of
yeah,
and maybe they heard Raider Nation finally, and the disappointment from us.
Yeah, but why now? We've been saying this shit all season, so it's not like we haven't been saying this early on. They're just listening now. A little too late, guys.
So let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna kind of the same topic on. Had we had more of these games throughout the season, would you feel a little bit different going into the offseason?
Oh, definitely. Because how many games this season have we had where we weren't even competitive?
2, 3.
We had 5 competitive games.
Well, I would say the Colts, we got demolished.
Yep.
Philly, we got demolished. The Chiefs, we got demolished. The Commanders, we got demolished. We got 2 garbage time touchdowns in that game. That's the only reason why it looked like we did.
Yeah,
the 5 games that we were competitive in: the Patriots, the Titans, the Jaguars, the Bears, and then yesterday against the Texans. Other than that, we were not competitive in any of those games.
I would also add in the first Charger game,
the Monday night game.
Those 3 Geno picks. Yeah.
The first half.
Those 3 Geno interceptions, like that game's way different.
The first.
Well, here's my take on that. What's the common denominator on all those close, but you know, it's Geno and his interceptions. You take majority of you take half of his interceptions away this season, and we're talking a totally different record.
Yeah.
starting with yesterday's game, as most recent as that, you take away that interception, we win it. Because the defense was definitely holding them. There's no two ways about that. We'll get into the defense too, but
I mean, that just goes to show how much that quarterback matters, even with an offensive line that we have right now. Like, you put somebody back there that plays smart and throws the ball away instead of trying to force some dumb pass or actually reads the field quick enough. Like, we're competitive all season.
I get two questions for you here. I'm going to stop. Jason, you answer this first. Did you feel that this was the most balanced offense we've seen all season? And does it seem like we're finally getting an identity formed, but it's yet a little too late?
Yes on the balance, no on the identity.
Okay.
I still think I still don't think they. Now they kind of gave us a taste test of what they were with the Jeanty and Bowers, but I also think had they used Jack Besh a little bit more, gave him about 4 or 5 more targets, open the outside up a little bit, get a little bit more on the outside with him. I think the identity you could kind of see in a roundabout way, but at this point, the 2025 identity is trash.
Mm-hmm.
And there is not. I mean, even if we came out and played like Super Bowl contenders the next 2 games, it is not going to change what we went through for the last 15 weeks. Period. The end. It's not going to change. So, I do want to see improvement. I do want to see a lot of these guys, the 23 people that have got expiring contracts, see which one of those guys want to be here next year, and then go from there. But other than that, no.
I slightly disagree because I have a little bit of a different spin on it. On the second part, I answer yes, that it is a bit of an identity because that's what Pete Carroll's been preaching. He's wanted all season, and he's still trying to coach for it, obviously, because they finally hit it. Now they need to be able to perform that way in these last 2 games, but that was the image in his head that he wanted our offense to look like, is a balanced game where we can rely on that run game to open up those passing lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, Money Chuck here's got a question. I think Pete is trying to win, and I'm scared on getting a win. Spytech should walk him out the door, sit Bowers and Max as well. I'm not for that. I think we ride this all the way out, and then when we're done in January, we put a bow on this year and throw the sucker in the garbage and start over.
I mean, I get where Money's coming from on this because I don't want to see our blue chip guys get hurt going into next year. That's the last thing you want. We saw that last year with Max. What?
No, go ahead. Keep talking.
Oh, he's commenting on the jersey. I mean, I'm not opposed, but first of all, Max ain't going to sit. You're going to have a fight on your hands if you tell him he needs to sit down for the rest of the season. And Bowers, too. Unfortunately, he got hurt earlier this season, so he missed 5 games this year. That's a lot, because he's way behind on what he did last year, but he's making up for it. We're going to go over the stats too and everything. But he's definitely making up for it in these last, X amount of games where he's really been the kind of almost the focal point. I mean, I get it. I get sitting to protect them. Right now, the only one that I don't want to see come back that's definitely not been cleared yet is definitely Colton Miller. There's no sense in it. For what? You're going to bring him out for what? For 2 games? Let the guys play that are healthy and been out there. Get Grant out there. Don't bring Colton Miller out. He means more to us next year than he does for these last 2 meaningless games.
Add JPJ to that too.
Well, he's on the IR. I don't think JPJ's got a chance of coming back this year. So, but if he does and they contemplate it, then they're fools.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel different, Duncan. Or
did we put Colton Miller in the 21-day window because he is on the injury report?
We did
I
2
don't
weeks
know.
ago or a week ago, something like that.
Yeah. So
He's
there's
been-
probably intent to bring him back. At what
Which is
capacity, who
stupid.
knows?
Which is so dumb. If
Yeah.
we were in the playoffs, if we were or on the cusp of making the playoffs and we needed these 2 wins, absolutely. Right now, what are we winning? We're not winning anything. We're not going to the playoffs. Why are you going to chance it? He got injured. Don't take a chance at him re-injuring that right now, and then he misses time next year. We don't need that shit.
But it doesn't hurt to
only-
bring him back so he can practice with us.
No, well, he's been practicing. That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't want him.
I'd just make him a healthy scratch for the game.
Yeah, yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that Pete's coaching like he's gonna be here for his whole contract, which he has to. So he wants to play the guys that he's gonna have and get the team bonding and familiarity with each other, and keep rebuilding the locker room that doesn't know how to win. So I mean, I completely agree. You shouldn't bring back Miller because he needs to stay healthy, but it's just on Pete's side of it. That's how he sees it.
It very seldomly does late season success carry over to the next year, especially what type of season we've had. If we've had a competitive season, let's say we had 6 or 7 wins, and then we rattle off 2 or 3 at the end, and we finish with, let's say we have 5 wins and we rattle off, and we've been competitive most of the games, right? And then we knock out the last 2. That right there is kind of that 1990. If you guys remember 1999, that's kind of what happened then that set us up for 2000 to start to make that run.
Well, because you would have something to build on, And again, it would have been a positive end versus what we went through last year. So last year, 4 wins. If we pulled off 6+ wins this season, I don't think Raider Nation would be as pissed off right now, because your expectations shouldn't have been high. You shouldn't have been. I mean, a lot of people would think, "Oh, we're going to the playoffs this year with Pete Carroll here." A lot of it thought, well, because we got Jeanty, but you failed to realize that we didn't do shit to fix the O-line. And then the coaching on the O-line has just been atrocious. It's not necessarily the talent, because you're talking, it was mostly the same 5 guys from last year that were slated to be the starters this year, and they still couldn't even get it done. It's got to be the coaching. How do you regress that bad? It's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It just boggles my mind how we see it, but yet they're not. I don't know what they're seeing. I really don't. I don't get what they're seeing. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, I think some of that's in the locker room too, because I mean, like, look at Pratt. We brought him in and then get rid of him right away, and he's balling out in Indianapolis. Like, something weird's going on. It's like I think the players are there and they want to buy in, but they can't because the results have been so terrible.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they're trying to reach individual accolades and not so much the team putting it together as a team?
I'm sorry.
Individual accolades? No.
I got the San Fran Colts game on right now. Old man Rivers, 44 years old, just threw a 20-yard touchdown pass to Alec Pierce.
Mm-hmm. Against the
right down
Niners.
the
Someone
field.
we should go after.
It took him right down the field, got at the 20, and then bang, threw one in.
Although it was a free play, though.
Doesn't matter. The defense was still coming at him. It's just bad
We
coverage
should
on
go
the
after
on the
Alec Pierce in
secondary.
free agency.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad pickup,
Yeah.
Who?
Alec
Alec
Pierce.
Pierce. He's a sneaky good receiver.
Yeah, he's a high 2. He's not quite a number 1 receiver, but he give you enough production.
I can't. I'm just. This
Better than
blows my mind. How this guy hasn't played in 4-5 years, comes out of retirement, gets the start tonight on Monday Night Football, and he's out here throwing a touchdown on the first drive of the opening drive of the game.
And he looks like me in uniform.
His face is all puffy and everything. It's like, God, why? How does the teams get lucky like this and we bring in youth and we can't even get lucky? It's like, what the fuck?
We used to, though.
I got a theory. It's because he's from that really great era of quarterbacks that got
it
developed
also doesn't
well
hurt
and
the fact
played
that,
well and could think.
yeah, it also doesn't hurt the fact that the system they're running is the exact same system he ran when he was with the Chargers. Because some of the coaches that are there were the same ones that are here with Indy now too. So
Yeah.
that's why they made the move to bring him in. So, oh, you're ahead of me, man. I was just gonna say that we're gonna talk about the dude who actually stole the show, and that's Ashton Jeanty.
I'm ahead. I'm trying to be a good producer here.
So for Jeanty, he had 24 attempts, 128 yards, 1 TD, and then he had 1 reception for 60 yards, and it was for a touchdown. So he had the timer's on. I hate these stupid timers.
I'll take care. Go ahead. Keep going.
He had a hell of a game. There's no two ways about it. I mean, he was hitting the holes. He was making the right cuts. He took the blinders off is what it seemed like. You guys see me? Do you feel different about that? It seemed like he was finally finding the holes and making the moves.
Well, I think the O-line played better too. There was actually holes there. I don't know how the hell Kappa became a decent center when he couldn't even play guard, but I got to give him props. Like, even though the O-line hasn't been the greatest, Kappa has been the best center we've had all year, which isn't saying much, but like he looks decent.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodgers, he's coming into his own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking this kid. I'm. Where was this guy earlier this season? What? Why wasn't he getting time earlier?
He was terrible in preseason. He couldn't block anybody in preseason. They are literally running right past him. Like, he's the one guy where I truly think he got developed really well, not playing. And I mean, part of it's on him because he did a great job getting himself ready, but that's the one area where I'll give props to coaching because he needed it because he was terrible in preseason.
I'm going to give him props, not just the coaching, but I'm going to give him props because he took the extra time to work on the deficiencies that he had to get to where he's at. He put a lot of extra. That kid's been working his ass off before, during, and after practice to get, better. And when you have a rookie, especially a 3rd-round pick like that, that's, going to have some question marks, and him to do that, it says a lot about his character and what he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, also, I love his attitude because that game that Meredith got hurt where Rodgers thought he was going to suit up and go into guard, like, he got pissed that he did not go in. He was so mad that they shuffled around Putnam and Kappa instead of letting him go in. And
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Oh, that probably was the greatest thing to happen to him because that definitely lit a fire under his ass because he's been playing some really good football.
Well, because they talked about it the whole week prior that, he's going to start. He's going to be on the starting line this week. And then, boom, he's a healthy scratch. It's like they got him as inactive. I'm like, what the? They've been pushing this whole week. They've been saying it in press conferences. He's going to get time to play. He's going to get a chance to shine and play this weekend. And then they scratch him.
That week that happened, I think it was Wednesday, there was reports where he had an absolutely atrocious practice. And with how Pete coaches, that was the determining factor. Because Pete really reviews.
Jason, the way you're sitting right now, you ever watch Tom the Mime on Facebook? With that white light on your face, you look like a mime there for a second. It's totally white face.
Is that supposed to be funny?
But sticking with Jeanty, it seemed like he had the vision, he had patience. He finished runs. He wasn't dancing. It's like he saw the hole and he fired through it. And you're right, the offensive line definitely blocked better. I mean, I know I'm not a big fan of the PFF grades, But did anybody happen to notice what they gave Parham as a
No.
PFF grade for this game?
PFF loves Parham.
Oh God.
What did he get?
It's ridiculous. Did I put it as a banner? Oh, I didn't. I thought I did. He had a 90.1 PFF rating from Sunday.
PFF loves
Where?
Parham.
Where
I
in
get
the
paid a lot of
hell-
money to go to the Jets with the owner that likes to go off of Madden ratings.
Yeah.
A
Might be looking at those
90.1.
PFF
What-
ratings.
I can't wait till 8:05 does his breakdown tomorrow night on the film because I'm dying to see that.
Well, you're going to watch one of that 52-yard run. He got onto the second level and on that run and made a killer block that what allowed that to happen.
So is that what gave him the 90.1?
Well, I mean, come on. But hey, since we were talking about Caleb Rogers and we want to talk the PFF grades, Caleb Rogers had a 90.1 pass blocking grade with 0 pressures and 27 attempts. That's pretty freaking good. Especially against the Houston Texans defense.
I am shocked at how well I thought for sure these guys were going to feast on our offensive line based on how they've been playing all season. And yeah, they sacked us twice, but
Technically it was 3.
yeah. But it's like, where did this offensive line come from all of a sudden where they were protecting Geno? He was having time to throw. This was one of his better passing games this season. He threw for was it over 300 or was he just under? Oh, no, it was 200. It was 300 total yards we did. So it's like, where was this line been all season for the most part? It actually made Jeanty look like a featured running back, like we'd expecting from him, between the passing game and the running game. Granted, there was only one pass, but it mattered big time. He juked and jived his way out of there and bang, 60 yards gone.
Yeah. But the 22 carries for 70 yards was the biggest difference.
And that's just it. We got him the ball. He got the chance to carry the rock and really make something of it.
Yep.
I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. We didn't abandon the run fat early, which was perfect because it just opened up the offense. This is the offense we've been hoping to see consistently every week, but we haven't been. I think last week, he had 10 touches in last week's game running it. That's compared to this week. I mean, come on. So
to be fair, last week's game we only had 75 yards or something like that.
Yeah,
total.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring this up. This just goes to show you how much Jeanty's done this season. So right now he is at 828 yards. So with that being said, he needs to average 86 yards a game for the last 2 games to hit that 1,000-yard mark. So he's right there. If he hits that 1,000-yard mark, I'll be happy with it. Will he get that against these 2 teams? I don't know. I hope he does. I mean, the Giants' defenses, they're not slouches, and neither is the Chiefs. But it all depends on how many plays the Chiefs put out there. Do they go the route of sitting guys because they got nothing to play for? They're already on their 3rd-string quarterback, possibly. So do they start sitting guys? Does Jeanty get that record? Not the record, but does he hit 1,000? What do you guys think? You think he makes it?
I definitely think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as long as the O-line plays somewhat similar to this last game, I definitely think it's possible.
If you look at his stats for the one number that kind of shocked me a little bit, that I didn't realize he had as many as he has, the 50 catches. I didn't realize he had 50 receptions until I looked at it today. I thought it was a lot less than that. But he's got 65. Where is it? 66 targets. He's got 50 receptions, 326 yards. He's got 5 touchdowns. So he's got 10 touchdowns on the season, 5 rushing and 5 receiving. So he's quietly having a decent year, to be honest with you. You know, if you look at this in a fantasy standpoint, he's actually definitely a number 2 or possibly a number 3 running back right now. That he's going to have his good games and he's going to have his bad games. You know, this week, anybody that sat him and was in their playoffs, they're probably kicking themselves because that could have won it for them. You know, that's a definite because he had a hell of a game. Those are some serious points he just put up yesterday, fantasy wise. You know, so
Well, Money Chuck's right. I mean,
yeah,
give Jeanty the carries. He's
Yeah,
one of those guys that needs the mini carries because he's going to be able to break 2 or 3 of them that can change the game.
yeah. I mean, this is definitely the guy that we were hoping we were getting when we drafted at number 6. At least that's the guy I was hoping for. What we saw yesterday. You know,
Yeah.
you saw that he had the vision. The line was finally on point and opening holes for him. So it's nice to see that with the proper O-line blocking the way they're supposed to for the future, we see what we're going to get from this kid. You know, does this mean this is what we're going to see every game next year? No, I don't think so. But I think if the O-line gets fixed, we're going to see a lot more games like that where he's got 100 plus and, you know, some serious yardage in the receiving side too. So this gives me hope for him next year, provided the offensive line gets fixed. Do you disagree or
No, but there's going to be a learning curve when we do make the corrections on the offensive line too, and the fluidity of how that running game is going to be. It just, I mean, let's face it. Most running backs, most of your top tier elite running backs, it takes them a while to start to get their rhythm. It's usually by about carry 7, 8, you start to see some semblance of, okay, they're going to have a lot of success running the ball today.
yeah?
You know what I mean?
Well,
So it sometimes it takes a little while. Very seldomly do you see an elite running back, and it happens, but very seldomly do they come out and knock out 60 yards in the first quarter. Usually you're going to want to get 20 to 30 yards and get those effective runs that are turning first downs or making it second and short, you know, to where now your playbook goes like this on second and short, you know. So it's incumbent to get him into that rhythm and just keep the momentum going. And I don't like, and a lot of NFL coaches do that today, is they'll have a successful run. Their run game will be just churning yards, but yet they want to throw the ball more and get away from it, you know. So go ahead there, Duncan.
I mean, I agree, but to add on to the whole taking 6 to 8 weeks to really start getting their rhythm, it's on the O-line also because
Yeah.
these guys aren't allowed to hit in the preseason and off-season. Like, that's a big part of O-line being able to be successful is getting that contact and getting their bodies in shape for that.
I might have misspoke. I wasn't necessarily referring to 6 or 8 games. I was referring to an individual game in and of itself. First quarter, second quarter, third, fourth quarter.
I got what you meant.
We gotta start in the first quarter and get him into that rhythm and let it cook.
Even if you misspoke, I still agree with what you said when you misspoke it because, like, look how successful defenses were. Like the first 3 weeks, like offenses were getting torched because it's a lot easier to get physical on defense than it is offense, especially at that O-line position because those guys are so big that they really need to get worn in and ready for that contact, and having so little reps and practice in the preseason and off season really hurts them.
We called it getting lathered up. We want to get lathered up at the beginning of the game as offensive linemen before we start doing before we start, because pass blocking is, I'll just quite honestly, after a while it just gets boring. Run blocking is where, you know, you're lining those 2 bolts on your face mask up on somebody's chest plate and getting after them.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago about that. Would you rather pass block or run block? personally, I'd rather run block. It's more fun, and I feel as though I have more control over how the game goes too.
Yeah.
Besides pass blocking, you're already going back on your heels, figuratively. You're taking a defensive stance, whereas when you're run blocking, you're firing off that ball, and it's beef versus beef, man. You're just smashing into somebody, and with the hope that you're moving him enough so you're running back and squeeze by you, whether on your left or your right side. Some of my favorite games when I still played semi-pro was in one of the games that I still remember to this day. I run it back at over 200 yards, and he kept running up the left side between me and my left guard, and same thing off the right side between the right guard and myself. And he was scrambling, man. He was having like 30, 40-yard runs. When you're standing as the offensive line and you block and you make that hole and you watch him just blow right by you out of the corner of your eye, and then you see him take off, and the players disperse from where you are. You're not going to chase him; you'll never catch him. And you just watch him run the rest of the way. It's like, God damn, that was beautiful. And then you're off the field and you're relaxing already. So it's like, those are great. You're not out there busting your ass the whole game. Just a quick blast and poof, he's gone. Those were fun. Pass blocking, because our problem with pass blocking was our receivers at the time couldn't catch shit. So it's like out there for nothing.
Well, I agree with.
I get
it being better as an lineman going for run blocking, but that's if you're coached up well. Because if you happen to be in a zone run scheme with bad coaching, you're basically pass blocking on a run play, and that's what it looks like every time we get a zone run system. Is like our guys look like they're on ice skates.
Yeah. Zone run, you have to know your assignments and each and every play. And your assignments change. They will change mid-play. Your assignments will.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I got to come off of this block to get to that block. What I like about power block, the power run scheme is just like you said. It's mano-a-mano. I want to take your freaking manhood from you today.
Well, it also gets rid of the thinking. You just go.
And us linemen are pretty dumb.
Well, it's not that, but if you're thinking mid-play, you slow down.
I don't know about you, but our coaches used to call us all you meathead and blah blah.
Oh God,
blah.
Yeah. Now you call a kid that, they're like, "Ma, he called me a name. Shut up. Get back out there."
At linebacker, you. Is that Cheeto?
No.
I wonder who it is. Quick question. When you look at the data for the past 7 years, not just this year, is it time for NFL to go back to natural grass for more give and cushion for helmets? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's not just – well, it adds to the give is there's a lot more knee injuries and ACLs and MCL injuries like
non-contact
on
injuries.
turf. Yeah.
But they're cutting the way they cut this grass now versus the way it used to be. I know when I was working at Manteca High School, their football field, their natural grass field was cut tighter than an artificial surface. It was that, and it was fast. The surface, it was almost like they were playing on putting green. It was about how
I always hated playing on Manteca's field. Because that grass always seemed way longer than everybody else's, and just
you got to see
like it dragged on your cleats.
You got to see it now. Oh my God, it's such a nice field. That stadium's nicer than Oakdale's now.
Yeah,
I played one game on turf, and it was the old style turf where it was just a grass rug on a fucking cement base, and that shit was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Everything else I played on natural grass. Well, one stadium we played at, because it was an inner city school, it was basically dead grass. It was just dirt. The whole field was basically dirt. And
when I played in high school, we played at Oakdale High School.
It was dry.
It was like playing. It was like playing in a pig pen.
No, it was dry. It was during the summer. It was one of those, the old 3 yards and a cloud of dust type shit.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like the wind would kick up and it'd be just like a dust storm coming through there. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. So Money Check's got a good one here. I can only imagine next year how good Bowers is going to be with play action pass. It will expose the middle of the field and bring up the linebackers and even strong safety. I'm going to add to that, Money Chuck. We're also going to need a more proficient wide receiver at the X position. I definitely think that will take some of that cloud, that over under double coverage off of him as well, because it's just like any other sport. If you got 2 studs, it's hard to guard. It's harder to guard 2 studs than it is 1. And I'm not saying we need an elite Justin Jefferson or Lamar Chase or somebody like that, but at least something where a Jacoby Myers that really goes out there and does it week in and week out. They can.
Well, there was a couple plays yesterday where they screwed up the coverage on Bowers, and he was wide open across the middle.
Yeah.
Because the announcers even said that. How do you let a guy like him be wide open across the middle? Because he's just going to do damage.
Throw to him.
Yeah, and that's the other problem. We don't throw to him enough when he's like that, and I don't know what the hell Gino's looking at sometimes, because you see him wide open, going right across the middle. It's like, and he's staring down Tucker on the right side or Tyler Lockett.
Most of the season, Gino just locks onto the one target.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it does not help his receivers at all.
Yeah, there's still, and that was one of the things when we built our stadium in Vegas that we wanted natural grass because it just it makes
they did what Arizona did.
It's safer, yeah, it's safer.
Yeah, they did the exact same. It's on a big tray, it just slides in and out. You know what? In linebacker, I actually miss the image of the field in Oakland with the dirt on the field.
The image as a fan.
Yeah, it was just you knew you were, you know what I mean? When you looked, somebody says, "Oh, what field is that?" You knew, just look at it quick, just to that's Oakland. Because there was no other stadium in the league that was like that, And it always seemed like Janikowski was the best at kicking off that dirt too. I don't know what it was with him, but
one guy it didn't help. One guy it didn't help was Darren McFadden, and I think we lost a lot of good production out of him because of that.
Yeah, that fucked his toe up for sure.
No, but Thornton can be. Or Cliff Branch 2.0.
He could.
I don't think Ruggs is.
Well, how? Sorry.
No, I just don't think Ruggs is the answer. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think
he get taken back
getting out of prison.
No, he's not.
No,
not yet.
He got in trouble.
There's no way there's no way that Mark Davis can bring him back to that team and look that lady's parents in the face and have any respect. In and of itself, he can go to he'll probably go to Kansas City, but I don't think he's going to get out for another 1.5 years, 2 years, because he just got sent back to maximum security because of his behavior.
Here's my feeling on Ruggs. Okay, if he were to get out and we were to bring him back here to the Raiders, you see protests all over the country. If you don't think there's going to be people that are going to protest the front of that stadium, like the MAD organizations, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, shit like that. That's not the publicity we need.
Nope.
Especially in a city like Vegas, that's the last thing we need. The team's not good as it is. The last thing we need is negative publicity like that. And next thing you know, you're all over the news. It's just too much. If he went to another team, probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if he comes back to the team in the city where all that happened, that's a tough sell to the fans. I think a lot of fans wouldn't even want to entertain that thought. It sucks. It really does. The whole situation, and it was all preventable. That's the worst part. NFL and the teams arrange cars and drivers for these players. All they got to do is make a simple phone call. And you go get the car the next day. So that was all avoidable, and it's sad. It really is.
And in hindsight too, the kid really wasn't that bad of a kid. his character rating coming out of college was really, really good.
Just one bad mistake.
Just one bad mistake, man. He just thought he can handle it, and sorry you couldn't, But just to put that to rest, Duncan, go ahead if you want to put your input on it.
Well, I was brought up the comment because I wanted to focus more on the Cliff Branch 2.0 part because I really think Thornton could be. I mean, he's had a rough season. He's a rookie, but the guy really doesn't have that many football snaps, both in college and in pros. So he's got the talent and the tools and the size. Like, he's got all the necessary tools.
Uh-huh.
He just got to put it together and learn how to play receiver at the NFL level.
Yeah.
And Cliff Branch, his 2 first seasons were pretty rough himself.
Oh, God, it was bad.
Especially his rookie season. His rookie season, I think, was worse than Thornton's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
completely different eras, though. I mean, because in the Cliff Branch era, his speed was so much more dominant over the cornerbacks. Now your cornerbacks are running about the same speed as what the receivers are. So there's not a whole lot of breakaway if it's mano-a-mano. Because Cliff could just run a 9 route and just blow by you. And most cornerbacks back then, they were like 4'6", 4'7", 40 guys. And this guy would just truck them right on by him. Wasn't even fair.
Thornton's issue also is he does have the speed, but he doesn't have the agility. So he's going to have to make a lot of contested catches because corners know how to stick to fast receivers nowadays.
Yeah. You know what he needs?
He needs to learn how to use his body.
You know what he needs? He needs his man body. He's still got his little kid. He's got his little kid body. Yeah, muscle mass. He might lose a tenth of a second on his 40. That's okay. But he needs to get those hands. Need to get stronger. His hand-eye coordination. He needs to go play. He needs to go with somebody that can throw a tennis ball real hard and play catch with just a tennis ball. With your bare.
I just think he needs more time.
Yeah, I'm not going to quit on the kid. It's too.
I'm not giving up on him yet,
Yeah.
but I think they're making the right move by not putting him out there right now.
Well, I think they handled him horribly because they did all that building up and hyping him up all off season and preseason. And then all of a sudden, Geno Smith starts throwing him under the bus when Geno Smith stares him down on a route and while the guy's covered and still throws the ball and then still tries to blame Thornton.
Yeah.
But in the Broncos game, he had that fly route that he had beat the guy by 2. He had 2 steps and it went right through his hands. So that's receiver 101. Catch the ball.
That's the only thing. He's the ball.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like he's being built up. Like he's not getting coached up. Like, well, from what I see, I think they're just beating him up and he's getting in his head and then he's getting worse and he's not being brought back up.
Yeah, but there's always 2 things with the rookie too that you got to take into consideration is it can be detrimental to the rest of their career. One is too much success early on and too much failure early on and not correcting the failures. Those 2 things that they don't, because a lot of guys will come out, they can come out and just have a really great rookie season. And then when the season's over, they hang their hat on that and they go, I'll just do the same thing next year when I come back. And it's like, stop. You got to put what Dante Thornton is going to realize, and a lot of these rookies are going to realize come February, you don't have to go to class. You're not going to be prepping for combine. You're not going to be prepping for all these interviews and Senior Bowl and stuff. You are prepping now for the next NFL season. And yes, the position coaches play the biggest role in their development.
We're seeing it on the offensive line. Perfect example of bad position coaches. The other thing with Thornton too is that motherfucker, he's got to get some beef on him because he ain't out muscling anybody for a jump ball. He'll out jump people, I'm sure, but he ain't going to be able to hold the ball away from somebody, or if a DB catches it, he's not going to be able to rip it away. DK Metcalf, yeah, he will, because the guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Stronger wide receivers, yes. Thornton, dude, that guy's built like a goddamn stick figure. There's no meat on his bones. Have you ever seen what his legs look like? His shins down to his ankle. I mean, they're like that. They're like that thick. Yeah. It's like, dude, it's just bone with a little bit of flesh on it. There's probably one vein running down.
If I could give him any hints, he should probably get a hold of DeAndre Hopkins and go tutor with DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason.
God, he's got nothing, man.
That's a guy that
hang around with the offensive linemen for a while. Eat what they eat. And work out when they work out. Yeah. Good God, we'll show you how to eat, bitch.
Yeah, he needs to bulk up for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited, hopefully, that he can turn into something, but he also hasn't shown a lot of separation either. He doesn't show that he can separate from a DB, Pierce just caught another touchdown. And by the way, McCaffrey's got a touchdown there, Duncan.
Dang it. That's okay. As long as he stops. Bench him.
What's up, Bobo Raider? Welcome in.
What's up, Bobo?
Linebacker is come on now. Devontae Smith plays with those chicken legs. What?
Yeah, but
it's not Devonta so much Smith the legs is
quick.
It's the upper body strength.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the small, he's got to work on his hands, man, being able to catch the ball. Stand in front of a jug machine and just keep catching balls until your hands bleed.
Yeah. And at Tennessee, they only gave him 3 routes to run. So there was no comebacks, there was no curls, there was no slants, there was no drag routes. There was
he had more routes in Oregon, but
yeah,
he also went to Tennessee and he barely saw the field.
He had
which was weird because when he did see the field, he was clearly their best receiver.
Yeah.
It's just something about Tennessee as a football team. Like, they're just weird. Like, somehow they get all these great athletes and just don't know how to teach them football. So then it doesn't translate to the NFL.
Yeah.
I was like, they got another really good looking receiver that's going to be in this draft next year. And he looks better than Thornton. He's a little bit more meat on his bones, just as fast, and he actually looks quicker too. I wouldn't trust the guy because he's from that team.
Well, let's I want to roll into the team stats here real quick. So I got another image to pull up. Shut the chat off for a minute. So if somebody told me or showed me the stat sheet but didn't show me the score, and I look at these team stats, I'd be like, oh, we won this game. We had to have, based on just look at what Jeanty did alone. It's like we had to either won it or be so close. I mean, you look at the combined team stats here, right? So we had 315 total yards to their 270. Passing yards, we were at 170 versus 187. These are like the total yardage. This is, minus the negatives and everything. But first downs, we had 12, they had 16. We had 7 punts. We still had 7 punts in this game, which is still a lot. They had 5. Penalties, again, another killer for us. 9 penalties for 85 yards. That's a lot. That's a lot of yards, and that's a lot of penalties. They were disciplined. They only had 4 penalties, and it was only for 25 yards. We only had 1 turnover the entire game, and that was Gino's pick 6. But time of possession, 28 minutes, 31 minutes. So we're pretty tight,
That's the stat, right, in and of itself, that leads me to believe that there was some semblance of coaching and effort that went into this game.
Yep. Yeah, unlike that game a few weeks ago where we only had 17 minutes and 52 seconds. Told you that I'll never forget that number. It's ingrained in my brain that we had it for such a short time frame. That's insane.
You're like you're almost like Rain Man with stats sometimes.
And then even total tackles, 28, 27. That's one thing I did notice. We were out there hitting on defense. We're going to get into defense now real quick. But we were out there hitting. We were making an impact out there on defense. you know. So it was, again, you look at these stats and you're like, we probably got this one, right? I mean, technically, we had that 100% efficiency in the red zone. We only got there once, but they were 0, I think it was. I think theirs was all, where is it? Oh, no, they were 50%. They were 1 out of 2. So our defense had a decent game yesterday. You know, and the defense kind of shined for the most part. You know, we'll give credit where credit's due. They did the job. You know, we limited those explosive plays that were always known for giving up. You know, the tackling was better. The pressure on the quarterback, which was evident in, you know, how their passing game went. You know, even when it didn't show on the stat sheet, we still showed that we were getting back there. Max had that one tackle for a loss. It's like as soon as the running back had the ball, Max was already on him. Now, he just timed that rush perfect and just blew right in there. I thought for sure they were going to catch him for jumping off sides, but they didn't. And then when they showed the replay, I'm like, no, he just timed that right. You know, the defense definitely kept us in this game. There's no two ways about it. I mean, what's your overall feeling on what you saw with the defense compared to what you've seen so far this year?
Duncan?
Oh, they definitely had a more complete game, and they played the whole game, because we've had games like this before where defense through 3 quarters looks pretty solid, and then they just fourth quarter fall off. Difference for the defense was they weren't on the field the whole game, so they were able to play aggressive throughout it, and that was the biggest factor for them. And then, like Jason brought up earlier, like Kuntz actually affecting the game a bit, even though it doesn't show up on the stats. He was noticeable. So having constant pressure in that backfield, that's going to take some pressure off those DBs.
He was disruptive. Let's put it that way. He was definitely disruptive. Yeah. And you're right. It didn't show in the stat sheet. He only showed 1 tackle.
Yeah. But
sometimes the stats don't show the whole story.
And they had plenty of targets against Porter, and he held up pretty well other than the penalties, but still argue at least one of them shouldn't have been. But refs are.
I know why that ref threw that flag, and because if you watch it, it obviously looks like it's an uncatchable ball, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, from where the ref was, he can't tell if it's an uncatchable ball while the violation's occurring right in front of him. So he's seeing that, and by the time he's already made the decision to throw the flag, and then you go, all right, that ball was 10 yards farther. The penalty's already occurred. So it's almost a coulda, shoulda, woulda. In real time, that's a penalty. But after you see, you go.
Yeah, but refs are allowed to come together on a penalty, and that specific penalty, I believe that's more than one ref's call. So he could have saw the penalty, and then another ref's supposed to come in and say, no, that ball was nowhere near catchable.
Yeah, but to determine whether or not it was catchable, that play in and of it, that's different. I mean, I don't think he would have been able to catch the ball, catch up to it, and catch it. But if you take the egregiousness of the foul in conjunction with the ball where the ball landed, could he have caught it?
I don't know. I don't think so. And then, especially because, like, I was listening to the Raiders broadcast on the radio during the game too. Kirk Morrison was flipping over that one.
Oh yeah.
You could hear it in his voice. He was jumping up and down saying, there's no way in heck that should be a penalty. Like, and then like
he was actually screaming, no, before the flag was thrown.
Yeah. Well, he's like, okay, he threw that flag, but they should come together and have a conference. Like, okay, they came together. They're going to take the flag back. And he's like,
sometimes.
No. And it's just like getting higher pitched.
Yeah.
But I mean, even Pete Carroll mentioned it in his press conference about that penalty. He's like, they happen. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a deal, especially because we're trying to get that first overall pick. I mean, ultimately, it did help us get closer to that, but
Had
still
that
think
game knocked us out of the playoffs, so it would be a different story today, wouldn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
it would be.
That press conference would be lethal.
And I myself would be in the same category as because let's face it, do you have to call that penalty? Because just like you said, the refs come together and they discuss it. One ref's going to say, I have this is what I have. And the other ref, including the back judge, but the back judge is the one that threw the flag. So he's the one that's going to be able to determine whether or not it's catchable or not. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I can see why he threw the flag, but after he threw the flag, he should have been able to go, that wasn't catchable, there's no foul, and recall the foul. He can do that. I mean, they do that all the time. I mean, so
I don't know how much time we want to spend on penalty talk, but why aren't we going to testing, at least in the preseason, some automated calls, ref calls from upstairs, where they review the plays and throw the flag on them, or pick up flags?
I don't want that.
Well, they do pick up flags, and I think that has a lot to do with the communication from the booth. They do pick up flags.
Only
often.
certain fouls is New York allowed to have them recall the foul. Only certain ones. So if you throw a face mask and there's no face mask, New York can have them recall that foul. That's one of them. Another one is the intentional grounding. And third, I believe questionable roughing the passer they can do now too. I believe there's three fouls. And I'm just going off of memory. There's 3 fouls that New York can correct if it's called. Now they can't call a face mask, but they can have you recall it to pull it away. If that makes sense. And I don't want New York calling the fouls because really, in all honesty, it takes away the human element. But at the same time, if you're going to have video assist on plays like that, then use it to its best ability, right? So, and the way that they can communicate that, I mean, the video assist that they got now, the way it works, it is phenomenal how fast they can go. Nope, that was an incomplete pass. Before there's even a challenge to it. So I don't want it to be what I do want, and I think this should happen, and it should happen next year, is every instant replay automatically we get to see what they're see and hear what they're talking about when they're reviewing the play. Just like they did in
on TV?
XFL. XFL does it. Where you
There's
actually
a college conference that does it too.
Yep. And you hear the ref at the stadium.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you. Okay.
Both talking to each other, and you can hear the ref go, okay, go back to that frame there shows this. Okay, do we have control? Do we have established possession? Do we have this? Do we have that? So you don't have this. Well, I think, but you know what? We'll just leave the call on the field stand as is. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Because my buddy at FanDuel says we need to leave that call as is.
He just texted me, said don't change it.
But that's the only thing. That's the only thing that you want transparency in the game, Roger Goodell. You want transparency in the game. That's transparency right there. To make it to where the fans, it doesn't have to be in the stands, but on television and a television broadcast, we can see and hear what they're discussing about an instant replay review. Because I sure would like to go. I sure would like to take that back to 2000, 2001, and just listen to what Walt Coleman was saying on the headset. fucker. The tuck rule, Jeff.
Well, oh, yeah. I wasn't paying attention to what you just said. Yeah. Whatever.
That's usually the response I get from you. Whatever.
The game still hurts so much, man. I mean, did you see any missed opportunities out there? Obviously, other than Gino's pick 6, where we still could have won that game. Because it felt like down the stretch, we did everything right to try and win it.
With the talent of our team and how the coaching's been, not really. Because I think that was the best our team could play. It's just really, it's got to be eliminate the mistakes, clean up the game, and that's how we are able to win. But like you said, other than the interception, not really. And Porter play a little bit cleaner so he doesn't get that penalty. I mean, that
the one thing that.
lot.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
The one thing that I saw at the end of the game, the last 5 minutes, was a lack of urgency to try and position yourself to at least win the game. Because I really think that once they got inside 4 minutes, it was like, and then our clock management was pretty bad at that point. I mean, I can see why the timeouts were called at the plus side of the 3-minute mark, but
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think our defense. I don't think we set our defense up to be successful in the last 3 minutes to get us the ball back, to give us a chance to go down and score to try and win the game.
Ooh, another touchdown for the 49ers. This is a back and forth game right now.
10 minutes left in the
now. San Fran just scored. It's still 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. What's up, Coach? So you pretty much said it right there too. You know, as far as the defense and everything. But let me ask you this: Do you think this is a blueprint that we can take forward in these last 2 games to have some sort of cohesiveness, or do you think we're going to possibly be back to where we were and this was just a fluke game? Even though we didn't win, we still looked promising. We're going to say that.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I'm not going to get too excited about yesterday, is because until you do it consecutively, game after game after game, then it's not really something that, because let's face it, how did we feel after the Patriots game?
On cloud 9.
Yeah.
And
it just reality slapped us.
Even though we saw some negatives and some inconsistencies, unfortunately Brock got hurt, so that hurt us going forward for a few games. I mean, you had some content creators coming on and using the words of, we've got our quarterback, or we got our future guy, we're good, Gino's awesome, we're going to have a great year. And then that aged like milk, a week later, and he's shit, Damn, one of those.
Yeah, Coach.
Santa Claus got a plate of cookies.
I 100% agree with
donuts, coffee with that.
Doing it now is a little bit too late in the season. But at the same time, if you want to take that game as an example and compartmentalize it to say, is that what we're looking for? That sense of urgency at the end of the game also has to be there. You know what I mean? Even if the execution is shit, at least a sense of urgency to get off the field, get your offense the ball, and at least see what the offense can do. Now, granted, I'm like the rest of you guys. I'm glad they didn't, because I think at this point, winning is only going to hurt us more than losing. So,
yeah.
I guess the one positive out of this is even what Jeanty did in the game. It wasn't during garbage time, because the game was still on the line. His touchdown put us into the position of being only down by a couple of points with us still, we were still in it at that point. We still had a legit shot to win. This wasn't like we were already down by 21 points and Their defense is playing soft, and he had a great game from start to finish, basically. So that's one bright spot you definitely got to take away from this. This wasn't garbage time touchdowns like it was in the Washington game and some of the other games we played in. This was him showing his God-given talent as a running back and what we were hoping for from him, and which is what gives me confidence going into next year. If we fix a few things, this could be an offense that could turn it around next year. Again, it comes down to the coaching. Is Pete still here? Is Pete gone?
I got a question.
Who knows? Go ahead.
It's kind of going off of linebacker U saying this was bad because it showed what we could have been all year. And we all agree coaching's been absolutely atrocious all season, especially for the offensive line. Why is it now with all of what we got 3 starters from the beginning of the year out not playing? And we're starting a rookie. We're starting the worst guard from last year at center. Like, all of a sudden they're playing better. And like, even in the games we got smoked, like the Eagles game, like you could see some stuff where they actually improved on. I'm almost wondering, is Brennan Carroll taking a step back and like Joe Philbin stepped up? Is like, maybe our play callers having a little bit more to say with the offensive line, like,
which you should,
because our O-line is looking better and actually looking competent this last game. Like, Rodgers being coached up all year because he was absolutely atrocious in preseason. Like, I'm just thinking maybe there is some coaching changes behind the scenes that we don't hear about, because if Brendan Carroll was truly coaching up that offensive line, like, he needs to be fired for the first half of the season.
Oh, God, yeah, without a doubt.
Because the whole JPJ fiasco, Glaze has taken a big step back. Miller was still playing well mostly, but like Parham looked horrible. Meredith didn't look like he belonged on the football field. And now 3 of those guys are hurt and they're playing better. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm connecting dots that aren't there, but it just seems weird.
I mean, it's a really good observation. I mean, but
I think
also
so
at
too.
the same time, I'm wondering if maybe this week, I think Jeff kind of hinted on it a little bit, but I'm wondering if this week versus last week, this week, Pete Carroll basically gave all of his coaches pure autonomy on how to run their divisions and put it together.
That would be nice if that's what the situation is, because finally letting the coaches coach the way that they should, if that's the case.
And I've never heard of him being a micromanager. You know what I mean?
I never paid too much attention when he was in Seattle as far as how he ran his staff, or I honestly don't know, so I couldn't even really talk on if he has done it in the past or not. I don't know. You'd have to ask a Seahawks fan. They definitely would be able to tell you that, if that's the situation or not.
No,
but it seems like here he is.
Yeah, but most Seahawks fans can only count to 12, so I have a hard time talking to them.
Oh, you're getting them confused with Chiefs fans. That's because that's as high as they can count to 12, because that's all there is for fans is 12. So they can't go higher than that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Chiefs roll out next year. I really can't. I'm going to be in your chat on Friday night, just so you know, because I'm gonna throw some stuff out there for you while you're.
What, this Friday night's? Friday night's a regular Friday. It's the last Friday night mic drop night.
Man.
So, I just to kind of tie this all up together here with this talk of this game. I think there's a couple of things we need to really highlight on this, and it's going to be with Ashton Jeanty again. I think this game did him well. I think this gave him some confidence that he can sustain a full game doing what he did. Because let's face it, not only did he have the long run and the long reception, Money Chuck mentioned it earlier in the show, in the chat. He had some hell of a few runs where he was laying the wood, running through the middle of the offense, trying to get some extra yardage. Where he wasn't afraid to hit or be hit. He was just going for it, trying to do what he could for the team to carry the team on his back. There was one play where they just got his foot at the last second. He would probably have broke that for a good 20-yard run. He was already at like the 7-yard run on that one. If he just had one more step, he would have missed that one, and he probably would have gone for like 15. So I think this gave him a real boost of confidence. We've seen him score touchdowns before in these are all meaningless games, but in garbage time. And what's he do? He doesn't celebrate. He goes to the bench, sits down, and a couple of weeks ago, the camera stared at him, and he just had that blank stare on his face, like, whatever. He was out there having fun yesterday. You could see it. He did a celebration dance at the end of one of the touchdowns. He was celebrating with the team, because they were in that game. In that moment, they were in the game. They had a chance to win this. So it does wonders for your team when you play that well. Max looked like a totally different person out there mentally and physically, just being out there and the way he was performing and the way he just carried himself on the sideline. It's funny because during the game, he's sitting on the bench after they just come off the field, and our offense is out there. And Gino, I forget what the play was, but it was a stupid play. And then he's sitting on the bench, and the camera's right on Max, and he goes, because he's watching it on the Jumbotron, watching the offense just, screw up what they just got them, and he's like, oh, what the hell? It's like same old shit, basically. But this week, he was sitting around other players. They were talking. They were smiling. This team is different from what it was last week. So something clicked. I don't know what the hell it was, but something's changed from last week to this week. And it was nice to see that on the sidelines, to be honest with you. It really was. I don't know if you guys have a take on any of that, what your feeling is.
Vinny Bonsignor on his Monday radio show kind of brought up something similar to what you were saying. And he was saying that they played a lot like they were in the offseason, like where they were flying around, having fun, like had energy. And then like the touchdown pass to Jeanty, he's like, they were running that all the time in the offseason at minicamp. And it's like, I don't know what brought about it, but it seems like they really tried to bring back what they were doing in the offseason and what was being reported back then.
Well, I mean, the offseason when they were in training camp, it seemed like it was all a bunch of fun, and that's kind of what it seemed like they were doing out there yesterday. They were having fun playing a kid's game. That's what it comes down to. They were out there playing a game, and they looked like they were having fun. And Coach, I agree with you. He goes, "That's very scary. I hope they don't click next week."
Well,
that's the downside. If anybody
Giants need to click better.
Number one pick. Anybody, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but Ashton Jeanty is on YouTube. He was on live earlier. I don't know if he still is or not. But I went and I saved his link. So I'm going to post his link. So if you guys don't follow him yet, go and follow him. Because when he was on tonight, and I've seen him many times on lives, and it's usually just playing video games. He was actually sitting there talking to the fans in the chat, like acknowledging them as they were saying stuff in the chat. And that's a different take than what I've seen from him before. So I don't know, again, if he's still on that high from yesterday and how good of a game he had, even in a loss. That's still going to feel good. But he looked like a different kid today. And yeah, I'm calling him a kid. I mean, he's 22 years old. So yeah, he's a kid. It was just a different guy, different kid versus what I've seen him before, and it was awesome. But if you haven't followed him yet, go follow his YouTube. I just posted the link there. I mean, he's a super nice kid just from what I see on the YouTube, So
yeah. All right, let's get in. I'm going to work through the chat just a little bit here, kind of give some acknowledgments. Linebacker, thank you so much. Great takes tonight, my friend.
Yeah.
Great takes. Coach Sippin' Jamba Juice, thanks for coming in, brother. We appreciate you. You always got great takes as well. You keep the show going, keep it moving. If you got friends out there, don't be a hoe. Share it. Share the show. That's all that we ask, man. Pig's Pig, welcome in, brother. It seems like I think I know what he's talking about here. I think for the most part, throughout the season, players were playing for themselves. Because if you take the context of 23 expiring contracts on that team, right? 1-year contracts or expiring contracts, what are they mostly going to be doing? They're going to be playing for that next contract, right? So are they playing for the contract or are they playing to get wins? Kind of makes sense if you add it together. You know what I mean? So that's going to set us up for failure. Now, I don't see Spy Tech doing a bunch of those 1-year contracts this next year. I can see some 2 and 3 ones coming up. Ashton Jeanty just give us a super chat here. Call me a kid to my face, fool.
Thanks, Ashton Jeanty. I appreciate you. Thanks for the $2 super chat.
When you're younger than my kids, I'm going to call you a kid.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
More than double your age, you're a kid.
Brandon Sipple 9497, one of our regulars in here. Thanks for coming in, brother. Jeff, I think you're giving us a little too much credit. Part of our success yesterday was Houston feeling like they could sleepwalk through the Raiders, and we responded. I'll buy some of that.
Yeah, but you still got to give them credit for that. I mean, even if they were sleepwalking, we still came in and we laid the smack on them to start, where they finally woke up maybe a little bit, but we still hit them and hit them hard. You know, I mean, we were in that game from start to finish. You know, so and the best part is, like I said earlier, Gino throws a pick 6 on the first series. So right away, everybody in Raider Nation's like, "Ah, shit, here we go. This game's over. We never could get ourselves out of that hole in past games. We got out of that hole. We kept it tight all the way through. They score, we score. We score, they score. So back and forth all the way through, right down to the final few minutes, you know? So we didn't lose on the first play, which thank God, you know, the first series. In past games, that would have been the end of it right there. The team would have just folded. Ah, shit. Interception for a pick 6. We're done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 401 Raider Jeff, thanks for coming in tonight, man. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats. If you want to hook up with him, there's the link right there. Raiders first downs. There's a never mind. I'm giving out Ashton Jeanty's YouTube channel. Cool.
Yeah, you dummy. I already told you I posted it.
Well, I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat. I was given a job to read the chat. Hobo Raider. Yes, I agree with you. I think this game was just, it kind of gave us a little bit of what we felt in the Patriots game. A little bit. When players play for themselves, then coaches have lost the locker room. Yes, exactly. There's no cohesion at that point. It's everybody for themselves. Let's see, Jeanty looking like Pinball Clemens out there. That's a good one. Tonight's game, they should just take the pads off and use flags. Absolutely no defense. Yeah.
Oh, no, dude. They're just marching up and down the field tonight.
Well, you know, Rivers, man, he's got it in him. And 401 Raider Jeff gifted 10 memberships out to folks. So we get those memberships up. So just in case sometime down the road we decide to do members only content, you will be one of them to join us for that exclusive content show. Anything else, Skipper, we want to talk about?
Not about the game, but if you guys want to give your final thoughts, go for it and hype your show for tomorrow.
Okay. Let's see here.
Final thoughts. Really hope the Giants show up and we don't win. I'm fine with a competitive game, but I really want that first overall pick. Whether it's take a quarterback, trade back, whatever. Having that number 1 pick gives us more options.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope Jackson Dart comes in and throws for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Because that will do 2 things. One, should have probably drafted him last year, even at number 6. Jeff, remember, I'm not taking Jackson Dart at number 6.
Who said that?
They're always playing. I don't want them.
Yeah. What's that?
Concussion.
I wanted him, but not at number 6. I never said I wanted him at 6.
If you're at 6, you got to, and that's the only place you could draft him in the first round.
No, you trade back into later into the first round and grab him then, and you gain an extra second round pick.
What does it take to trade back?
Another team that's willing to do it, to move up to get what they want.
Yeah, but are we going to give up a 6 pick just swapping first round picks and maybe a 5th round?
Why are we talking about last year? It's done and over with. We got Jeanty, and that's it. You want to talk about what we're going to do with the pick this year? That's another show. You're crying over spilt milk now.
I ain't crying over nothing.
It's last season's news. Get over it.
So Jackson Dart comes in,
I'm not
tears us up, wins the game, 31-20.
Russell Wilson this weekend.
You want Russell Wilson?
I want whoever's going to give us the best chance to be.
Oh, that'd be cool for Russell Wilson to come out and just rub it in Pete Carroll's face, huh?
Oh, wouldn't that be hilarious?
Revenge game.
Hey, asshole! I'm the guy you got rid of. Remember, you sent me to Denver for all.
for that. I'll quote Tom Brady.
That was for me. I gifted out 20 memberships tonight as a Christmas present to my.
This is Russell Wilson at midfield. You gave me up for that stupid MFer?
Yeah, we'll pull the Tom Brady against us.
As he points at Geno Smith.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I got you a ring. He ain't got you nothing but, never mind, hemorrhoids. But, shout out to Bueno coming in. We could always depend on him and be here sometime throughout the night. I didn't see Rosetown in here. I thought Rosetown would show up tonight.
Yeah, Bueno, you gift the membership, but it's only gifted for 1 month, and then if you want to continue it, then you got to pay for it. That's how it works. I just get you in as a member, and if you like what you get for the perks, you get it. You're in.
But if you pay for it, it's just like, it's
99 cents is what I gave out. I gave the 99-cent membership, so it's 99 cents a month. It's less than a cup of coffee. 99 cents.
So that's my final thought on the game, and so be it. I want the number 1 pick.
Oh, linebacker, you? Jeff, I saw you in Philly, I think. I was on the sideline. Yeah, I was there. I was sitting in – hon, what section were we in? 114? We were in 115. We were one section over from the tunnel the Raiders came out, and we were about 16 rows. Huh? Row 21. So, yeah, I was there. And I'd be easy to spot right there because I was the only Raider fan in that section along with my wife. 2 of us were the only 2 Raider fans there. We were surrounded by Eagles fans, and they weren't bad. Yeah, they weren't bad. They were pretty good. The Eagles fans were decent.
That's good.
Tomorrow,
you guys got anything else? No, go for it.
Duncan, if you want to tell everybody what we're going to be doing
tomorrow, Jason and I have a weekly Tuesday night show. It's called Show Me Your Shield. It's pretty much Jason and I talking about the Raiders history, bringing in the chat from the fans, just trying to stay inclusive and have fun with it and try to entertain, because our football team don't do much of that.
They don't.
But yeah, no, we're just trying to have some fun, talking with the fans about the Raiders and past experiences, and have some questions on, see if you guys can answer them, and then you guys can shoot some questions to us. Let's see if you guys can stump us with some Raiders history.
Fucking guy changes the background.
Some cool MFers right there, bro. Let me tell you. Yeah. So, anyways, as part of our program on Tuesday nights, Raider Nation Behind the Shield, me and Duncan, what we're trying to do is incorporate at the end of the show. We're kind of launching a little bit early where we're going to wait till after the season was over, because the biggest thing we want to do is get into fandom. So we want to bring in fans on the show and interview them, do a lot of Q&A and stuff. So kind of test everybody's, because we're at a point now as Raider fans we are all we have. You know, it's us, the fans. And it almost seems like we've been turned away from the greatness. Yesterday, we have 3 mottos that we always live by: pride and poise, commitment to excellence, and just win, baby. Yesterday was pride and poise. I give the team credit. That was pride and poise. They showed a little pride, had a little poise, and they relatively played well to make us feel proud of what they did as fans. We're still missing the commitment to excellence, and until we get that, there's not going to be a just win, baby. So until we get, we need a lot of pride and poise, build up that commitment to excellence so we could just win, baby.
So, Green-Eyed Lizard King, do you think Rivers playing well woke up Gino? Like, he's 44 and he could do it. Middle season, 5 years away. What am I doing? Hey, he's playing pretty damn good for a 44-year-old quarterback that's been out of the league for almost 5 years. So, hey, all the power to him, man. The guy's a grandfather out here playing the NFL, starting on a Monday night game. Go freaking figure. Hey, gives us old guys hope. Right, Jason?
I have hope for you.
No, thanks.
Well, you said give you old guys hope. I have hope for you.
All right, whatever. Linebacker, you. Why were you on the sidelines? You were on the field? Let's see. So tomorrow, you guys good with what you had to promote? I'm sorry, I don't want to step over.
No, you're good. It's your show.
Good. Okay. So tomorrow night I will be on 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific. It's the most notorious podcast. It's myself. It's Leo. It's Raider Will from the Denver, Western Colorado chapter. And it's James from the military TBH chapter. We'll be talking TBH events, recapping this past weekend's game. Leo and Will were both at the game on Sunday. They spent the weekend in Houston. Will's already on his way home, and I think Leo is probably almost home right now, back in LA. So 4 of us will be on tomorrow night. Christmas Eve, there is no Raider Connection Wednesday night. You may see me on Wednesday night on the cage match, getting my belt for winning the championship from Savages League. Friday night,
they're gonna let you come on their show.
Yeah, I've hosted this guest hosted this show before. Savage was out, and it was just me in Asylum. Christmas Day or Christmas night, there is no Raiders Coast to Coast, and Friday will be the last Friday night mic drop show with Chris for Raiders and myself. So pull up on Friday nights if you want to get on camera, or just put your voice on here and not be on camera. That's fine. We usually drop the link about 30 minutes into the show, and we let anybody and everybody that wants to pull up. You don't have to necessarily be a Raiders fan, but that's the gist of that Friday night show. And on January 2nd is going to be the actual true debut of my new show on Friday nights. It's going to be called No Huddle. It's no timeouts, no excuses. It's going to be a more inclusive NFL style show. It's not going to be strictly a Raiders show. So if you're a fan of another team other than the Raiders, you're more than welcome. We'll talk about your team. If you want to get on camera, I will get you the link. You can come on. You want to talk about your team. If they're in the playoffs, if they missed the playoffs, whatever you want to talk about your team, the floor is yours to discuss it. The chat will be involved. So it's a whole new venue or venture that I'm going on Friday nights. So got a kick-ass intro too. So you'll have to wait and see it on that Friday night. Jason's already seen it, and so is Duncan. They got the exclusive earlier tonight. So
It's all right.
That's pretty awesome.
thank you. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Jason. There.
I got one.
That's what I've been waiting
Me
for
the
all
whole
night.
show to get one. Good Lord.
Oh, Paul, don't give me that crap. I've sent you the link I don't know how many times, and then you always got an excuse why you can't pull up at the last minute. So,
That's because Raider Paul holds his phone upside down. He can't push the buttons right.
yeah, and he makes all kinds of noises when he's on, too. He spits.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I don't want to hear that crap. Shield Pit Friday night. What?
Shield Pit Friday night?
I don't know what that means. What?
No, ours, me and Duncan's is Raider Nation Show Me Your Shield Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then as the season, once we wrap up the season, kind of getting our feet wet, getting our show motivated, then we're going to push into fandom, and then we're going to do a lot of college preview, going into the draft, and that's when the debates are going to start happening. Because there's going to be some agreeing and there's going to be some disagreeing.
Oh, I mean, just agree.
He already
with me,
disagrees.
You're always right.
Huh? What was it? If I disagree with you, I'm right?
No, I said just always agree with me, then you can be right.
Oh,
Wow.
he's only right 110% of the time, right?
I like this guy. He throws it right back at you. I love it. BYOS.
Bring your own shield.
Yeah.
And you know what? Keep an eye out Monday next week, because I think what we just did here tonight would be a good thing to do for the next 2 Monday nights anyway.
A little Monday Night Madness doesn't hurt.
Yeah, kind of like it. It's a little different.
Except for next week will be the last one. Because the following week, there's no football on Monday night that night.
Yeah, but that's not why we're on. It's the follow-up for the game before. So next Monday night, we'll be reviewing the Raiders-Giants game, and then the week after that, on Monday night, we'll review the
But isn't that the
Chiefs
night?
game.
Isn't that the college football playoff championship? The 10th, January 10th.
We can talk about it more later.
Yeah.
Look at your smile, Duncan, when you say that. We can talk about it more later. Yes, we can. Well, Skipper, I'm done for the night. Duncan, how about you?
Yeah. Time to go eat some dinner and not sleep again.
Well, everybody, thank you for being here and tuning in tonight. Ashton Jeanty, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. And everybody that I gave memberships to tonight, enjoy them. And as I always say, stay safe. Go Raiders.
Thank you, guys.
Salute.
401. 401. Silver and black, yeah, we never fold. New winning roots with a Raider soul. East Coast grind, West Coast pride. Raider Nation, worldwide. 401. Say it loud, 401. Feel that sound from the stands to the screen. This is Raider Talk with